Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2017 CAMX. In my way to here this morning, Todd Romain, my colleague, and myself got lost, and instead of coming here to the west wind, we ended up in the north wind, where there is a dog show going on. So I delivered my speech in there, and it was not really much understood. I hope I do a better job now. We may be here 3 months later than I initially anticipated, but this in itself is a demonstration of our resilience and determination. And it only makes us more appreciative of the opportunity of building the composite industry stronger. Last year, I had the pleasure of delivering the introductory remarks at CAMX 2016 in Anaheim, California. Those of you who were in attendance may recall that I spoke of the importance of demystifying composites and the need to take greater responsibility in convening the potential of composite in existing and new markets. I want to share with you what we in Owens Corning are make to live up to the demystification and standardization of composites. I would like to share now with you a brief video of a project that speaks of a new, all-composite bridge to the future that Owens Corning is proudly involved in building just about 90 minutes away from this building here in Homosassa, Florida. I hope we can have the video.
It's good to have traditions. Sometimes it feels right to just keep doing things the same old way. Steel rebar built 20th century America. But even the most important technologies reach their limit. Halls River Bridge has been built with an eye toward the future, not the past. Replacing steel rebar with composite solutions, which are stronger, lighter, more durable, and corrosion resistant. In hostile environments, composites are the future. Owens Corning Composite Solutions, rebar, reimagined.
As you saw in the video, the Halls River Bridge is being constructed with glass-reinforced composite rebars. The attributes of it are tremendously compelling. It is corrosion resistant. It weighs 1/4 of what would be with steel rebars, and it promises a service life of over 100 years. This project is about rethinking how we build, reinforce, and reconstruct bridges, and by doing so, how we create changes to drive growth. In short, it is a great example of the unique possibilities composites represents. We are proud to be working with Florida Department of Transportation, the University of Miami, Florida, and others in creating a bridge that we believe will spur future growth opportunities. From a growth perspective, the opportunities for composite rebars are more than compelling. Altogether, some industry estimates suggest an addressable market of over $10 billion for composites in infrastructure applications. I think we all like that one. This massive opportunity for growth is one of the key reasons we acquired a company by the name Aslan FRP, which makes concrete reinforcement, and we did that early this year so that we can broaden our composite business portfolio in the infrastructure space and to support higher rates of adoption for composites. We live up to our words. The vision and challenge that I shared in my remarks last year in California was to double the size of the composite industry in 10 years. For our part, Owens Corning is actively investing in the growth of composites. As one example, we announced late last year that we are investing $130 million in our Indian facility to support growth in India and to support growth across the world from India. The investment includes installation of a new melter and state-of-the-art process and product technology. We are also announcing that we are rebuilding our glass melter and expanding production capacity in our facility in Chambéry, France. That will support the growing demand for thermoplastics in automotive in Europe. It is well known that industrial production has a close relation with growth of composites. For context, over the last 3 years, the compound annual growth rate of global IP came in just above 2%. I'm pleased to note that in 2017, that number is climbing to 3.5%. If we use the multiplier, which is known to be 1.6 times the IP as the composite demands, it means that in 2017, we'll see growth for composite north of 5%. For next year, the global projections of IP is already 3.8, so the future is bright. While we are investing in more capacity, the reality is that installation will take some time. In the midterm, we anticipated and are beginning to experience some supply tightness in some corners of the market. In a planet immersed in communication, besides knowing what people are buying and what markets are demanding, it is important to know what they are talking about. Through the first 6 months of 2017, there were more than 1.2 million online conversations related to composites. At first glance, this volume of dialogue may seem impressive, and in many ways, it is. It speaks of the compelling nature of the products and solutions we are all so devoted to bring to the planet. But before we get too excited and we get too carried away with our online presence, I must share with you a sobering reality. When we widen the lens to look at our online conversations involving our potential markets and application, still is dominating the conversation by a factor of almost 10 to 1 related to composites. Just to be clear, the yellow portion of this chart that you're seeing here is not the background. It is the share of voice that steel currently commands. And to mention aluminum, it outpaces composites by a rate of more than 2 to 1. These measures provide a stark view of the challenge we have in our hands. So, how do we grow our share of voice? To capture the visibility that everyone in this room believes we deserve, we must change the conversation. In my view, we must adopt a more holistic view of composites, one that embraces the entirety of the vast opportunities our products and solutions offer. We are all well versed in the benefits of composites. I don't think anybody here in this room has a single doubt of the benefits of composites. But many of our potential customers and partners in growth simply don't yet understand or trust in this reality. Today, more than ever before, it's no longer about one material. It's no longer about one technology. It's not about my application versus yours. No. Today, it is about joining forces in making the case for composites versus the competition. It is the case for composites versus everybody else out there. Who has to be in that conversation? Who do we need to reach with this message? We need to speak directly to the designers, the engineers, and the dreamers that make of tomorrow's next big thing. The makers of things we may think impossible today. I believe it's time to begin a movement to demystify composites by removing the concealing cover from this beautiful but underappreciated industry, and to embrace our shared responsibility to drive adoption by leading the conversation of how composites make the impossible happen. And I have a video to share with you now.
Welcome to the world of composites. What's possible? That depends on your imagination. There has never been a better time to be original. If you can think it, you can make it. Make impossible things.
Just 7 miles away from this convention center is Disney World. Long before Disney was a global empire, there was one animator with a dream of creating a venue in California called Disneyland that would bring his characters to life and serve, as he said then, the happiest place in Earth. As he embarked on his dream, Walt Disney faced long odds and many detractors, likewise ourselves. To this, he simply and famously responded, "It's kind of fun to do the impossible." And I couldn't agree more. Join us in Twitter and Instagram in the new conversation, making possible things. Thank you, enjoy the show, and I now introduce Ann Beer.